We will command that only the most divine light shine down upon you at this time, and the greatest good be present here. It's such a majestic time to be with you. We've told you that you are starting on a new journey, a new mission. You are moving into a new peace. And in that peace, there comes a release. There comes a letting go of the old. There comes a release of the limitation of how much compassion you can have. Because it is from this intentional compassion that everything will manifest. It is from the rich soil, the earth of compassion, that regeneration begins. It's a genesis that you don't have control over. You will be witness, watching and being amazed when you hold that compassion as the fundamental truth of what you need to do. And the greatest aspect of this whole operating system that is crying out is your intellect. The system is perfect. There are not demons in your intuition. There are not demons in your emotion, even the most difficult. The demons are formed and created and projected from the intellect, springing from that ego. And so long that ego has had control. And for so long, culture has trained your ego to be in control. Lifetime after lifetime, timeline after timeline, there have been very few lives that you've lived where you've transcended that. And certainly in this culture that you live in today, it is the least spiritual connected culture that's ever existed on the planet. That compounded with timeline after timeline. And think about when you compound timelines. So you take the warrior timeline of the Crusades, and you take the timelines of Ireland, you take the timelines of Tibet, you take the timelines of Japan, take the timelines of all the suffering and meld them together. You have a humanity in crisis. Now, you've all been in crisis. You've all lived through crisis, and you will again. But now is the time that you are being pushed to incredible new heights of expectation that you are putting on yourself. This is not outside you. You've come here to do this, to be here July 27th, 2025, to go through the deepest experiences that humans can have. You would not want it any other way. You would not want to be medicated or normal. This is the most exciting ride that you've ever created as a timeline. And we don't want you to miss a single moment, because when you get to the point where you leave your body, you're going to go into afterlife. And there's going to be all kinds of experiences, sensations, perceptions, creations that will be free of the suffering of being in your body. And that will be a relief, a peace, a joy. And yet, there is something so passionate about having a body. And when you don't have that body, you'll miss that passion. You'll want it again. You don't think you will. We guarantee. And when you unify these timelines in this way that you are, and you intentionally and consciously commit to making choices for the good of the whole, thereby seeding your compilation of consciousness that is compiling all of the mathematics of all those decisions you've made in compassion. Now you are becoming true power, power that you can tap into as a synergy. There is a definite split going on right now on the planet, and we will explain it as simply as people who have the conscientious decision making, who are able to rise above the illusions, who own every creation, who work to unify in order to bring this compassion. You are naturally going to be manifesting the realities that you want. And those realities aren't necessarily defined by your intellect. You want to create this, you want to create that, you want to create this. The realities will be defined by your choices, either compassion or no compassion. There's only two choices. And you'll sometimes pick one. Hopefully, most times you'll pick the other. But even when you do, even when you have thoughts that say you're not good enough, you haven't done enough, you're falling short, you should be better, you should be richer, you should have more friends, you should have this. That isn't compassion. That is from lack. That is from illusion. Even when you're doing that, the great goodness of your awareness, of your commitment, of your knowledge, of your experience, of your intention, it's all part of integrating this piece here and that piece there. So don't let a piece that's integrating fool you into thinking it's all that there is. Whenever you feel caught in a energy bubble that has you laboring under illusion, go to the top of the mountain. Be there with the angels and the pillar of golden, compassionate light. Be there with all of the animals and the birds and the plants and the water and the mountains. Be there in that peace and that truth. That is going to have a profound effect on how your body is walking through the world. And we want to say that what is happening now is laying the groundwork for your continued expansion. And the more that you surrender to exactly what you have in front of you that you're creating, without second guessing, without defining yourself as diminished, without forgetting who you really are. Every moment that you can hold that truth, standing on the top of the mountain, standing in the park, being in the shops, in the hospitals, in the stores, on the street, being human, being physical. Every time you can hold this wholeness and truth, you are changing so much more than just your body. You're changing the world right now. And all of you understand that there are humans right now who won't be able to participate in this truth. Many have come here to work through in a finite way. And that's preparing them then for another timeline where they get to then be more whole, more integrated, more aware, more self-mastering, more self-loving. You cannot know the complexities behind what you see going on around you, and you should not make assumptions or projections onto anyone else. They each have a sacred path. Even the ones that look like they're being subsumed by demons, swallowed up by disease, suffering from mental health issues. Even the ones who look like the dregs of society are on a sacred path. And your humility to understand that intrinsically and then also project it onto them is going to greatly transform the quality of your life. It's going to give you more detachment. It's going to give you more calm and peace. It's going to reduce your vanity to where you realize that everything is sacred, no matter how it looks. And the way that you proceed forward in this complex system of different levels of people, of different energies and frequencies, all you have to do is maintain your own frequency. That is all. And you do that by being in the flow, constantly with the breath, literally with the breath. Literally with the breath. Because when you're breathing through thoughts that have you better than somebody else, have you judging anyone else, it's like that golden pillar of compassionate light, sweeping clean the intellect, opening it up like the sky, where you're in wonder and awe, and it's silent, except for when intuition impels it to take a step. Now, we know that each of you have challenges. You've got circumstances. You have very real tasks and duties of life. Do them joyfully. Do them in peace. And if you find yourself clogged up, seek out something that's going to elevate you. Be in a little service. Do a good deed. Create a piece of beauty. Surround yourself with the warmth of self-love. Be grateful and humble to be at this level of frequency and awareness. It is such a privilege, and you don't want to take advantage of it, even a little bit. In the next several weeks, there's going to be some remarkable changes. You're going to embrace these changes with joy. They're going to be signs of a new covenant that you're making with yourself, a new promise and commitment to compassion and alignment. And as you do that and you see externally the manifestations of the reflection of that, it's going to help solidify this journey of being this change, of being this daily example of self-care, because this is all about your self-care. No one else can take care of you. Yes, you can talk amongst yourselves and find joy in your community and your communing together. You are, however, the master of yourself. And in these weeks and months ahead, you're going to see that in action. And they'll be letting go. There'll be people who pass from your life and pass from the earth. There'll be changes this way and changes that way. We want you, however, to be the creators that you are. And by using that breath work to flow all of the unified field of emotion up through your heart to inform your intuition, to quiet down the ego, to be in spectacular awe, and to project the manifestation, the good of the whole. You're going to be able to manifest in a way that you have not before, starting within yourself. And so oftentimes you've been thinking that the proof of manifestation will be outside yourself. But in this time period, it's all about generating peace from within, generating humility and grace, being humbled and joyful at the same time, and being compassionate to every sentient being, starting with yourself. And this is going to be tremendously healing. Very, very healing of your cells, your organs, your skin, your mind, your breath. That's what you want. Yes, you want physical things. You want a garden. You want money. You want to sell art. You want to have healthy cats. All those external things. Begin with this transformation within you. And we are, as always, here, observing, participating. Have fun with us. See us, acknowledge us, entertain us. We will entertain you. There'll be enormous synchronicity, messages, dreams, signs. Don't miss anything. And don't be fooled by anything you hear or see happening around you. Everyone's going to have their opinion. It doesn't matter. It's all what begins within you.